All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Carlos. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. All right, guys. Just want to give you a heads up. We are trying something new that's going to help us have better quality in our chat room. So just let Norm and I know if you see anything funky or if it looks better. We'll appreciate it. Just some feedback overall. So hopefully the sound is good too and
Looking good.
nothing has changed.
Hey, you're looking
I'll
good,
take.
guys.
Hey,
Just giving you
Brian
some
is joining
feedback.
us early this morning. How you doing today?
Hey, good morning, Brian.
Good morning. Well, being on the East
Day
Coast,
yesterday.
I'm up a couple hours ago, so hey. But I'm going to let you get on with the morning show. Looking forward to hearing it.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. And please
Okay.
feel free to pop on if anything. So thank you for that. Um,
Okay.
all right, guys. So again, another exciting day yesterday. Let's get right to the market pulse and kind of find out what's going on there. We do have a nice gappers list this morning. As you can see, a lot of our suspects up nicely today. Some in the double digits. Cannot wait to go through this list. I mean, this market is just unbelievable right now. So, Norm, what's going on there?
Yeah, up 1.3% today. A couple things yesterday. We mentioned gapped above the 200-day moving average when we opened yesterday, and market came back a little bit. And then there were some comments by a couple of different people later in the day discussing a vaccine might take longer than anticipated, 18 months or longer. So those hit some of the virus stocks, Moderna and stuff like that we've been trading, but also the overall market a little bit. Overall, the market is pretty enthusiastic, I guess, about watching people party in pools over the weekend, and everybody's eager to get back to some kind of normalcy. And a couple of people have come out talking about how crazy the economy is going to go when everything reopens. So, um, all that said, that puts us up again today, a little bit over 1%. As far as data, not a ton. We've got a Fed speaker, the St. Louis Fed's president's talking at 12:30. That's what we got going on today, and then we got a slew of economic data out tomorrow and Friday as well. So.
Yeah, looking forward to that, man. I think that definitely an exciting time right now for the market. And just look at this gappers list, just everything, a lot in the green this morning. But with that said, let's look at what's gapping down today. Why are these stocks not doing well on such an amazing morning? That could be interesting, and it could create some opportunities of stocks that are actually got their own catalyst this morning, right? Obviously, everything in green that's gapping up is because of the market doing well, and all the good news about reopening the country. These companies that have been doing horrible are looking to bounce back. So let's take a look at LJPC this morning. So LJPC, it is down 24% right now. So they have been taking a bit of a hit today. Let's take a look at what's happening there. See if there's anything good happening on this daily LJPC. Here we go. All right, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so this is a pharmaceutical company, fairly low float, right around 20-ish million.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're down because one of their competitors, I guess, beat them on I think it's a malaria drug or something of that sort. So
Mm-hmm.
they're getting hit on that news.
Gotcha. Right now, guys, these guys are again pretty down at the moment. For the most part, they don't have a lot of great volume throughout their trading days, but worth watching with that type of news. Again, they're down massively today, 25%. So LJPC, we'll take a look at. They're borderline low flow, right at 20 million. So I'm going to put it down here just because they're kind of that borderline where we kind of cut off. Low flows are under 20 million shares flow. You want to be very careful. This is shy above that. So we'll see. We'll see how it trades today. We'll see what kind of activity we're going to get out of it. Right now, pre-markets looks very active. Volume is starting to come in. We do have a big chunk right here, 28,000 sitting on this one candle. So hopefully that continues to pick up on volume. Next, we have RCUS. So RCUS this morning, not the greatest pre-market, 140 right now in volume. It is down 14%. We do have this one candle here with 13,000 of it. I'm not seeing anything all that great right now out of this one. Another one that's in that 37 million shares flow. It is not a low flow, but the volume also under 5 million, under a million for the most part here on regular trading days. So, Norm, any good news on this one, like LJPC?
They're partnering with Gilead on a cancer drug. I don't know why that's dropping them by 15%. I really haven't been able to look at it in
Mm-hmm.
depth, but it seems a little strange.
Okay.
So we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we'll keep an
See
eye
if
on it
anything,
then.
if it ends up looking good anyway. I generally these even at 37 million, sometimes these biotech companies trade a little crazy. So it's not really my specialty. Some people just trade these types of stocks. I tend to stay away from them.
Yep, yep. Yeah, same here, man. Same here. mRNA, guys, one that we have been, again, watching quite often. They right now are down 5.2. Again, 1.3 million shares traded at the moment. And look at the drop this thing has taken. So we've been talking about it holding this level here. That was a good level of support for them. Yesterday, it just completely lost this here, as you can see, heading down towards the next area that they have. And now they're kind of a little bit below another area of resistance that can now become support. But again, just completely losing it over the last couple of days. Their pre-market right now is very active, guys. 1.3 million shares traded. Definitely worth watching this morning. I think they're going to be in play for sure. We have GMAB today in here. They are not doing a whole lot. A couple of block trades in here, not much happening. I'm going to skip right through this one. Let's go over to, I'm going to skip through gold as well. Again, we usually do not trade that ticker, these mining companies and things like that. We're going to go to right to INO. INO this morning, 314,000 shares traded. Now that is low volume for this type of stock. They tend to trade very heavily in the pre-market when they are in play, but they're down today 2.8. Pre-markets, again, this volume might seem like a lot, but for this stock it's not. So you're getting a pre-market action that doesn't look all that clean compared to what we're used to seeing on stocks that trade 314,000 and have a beautiful pre-market action like a BA or something like that, like an Nvidia. This one is definitely not giving you that today. Their daily looks interesting, guys. Nice little pop here over to an area of resistance that we had in the past, 1645. Has dropped down now, consolidating, moving sideways a bit here, slightly below the previous day close, but I'm not seeing anything great on it unless you have any good news or catalyst that can move this stuff. I'm just gonna move on from this one.
Yeah, I think the couple of these are just a couple of people have said that I think it was actually the CEO of Merck was one of them yesterday, saying that his opinion was that a COVID vaccine would take longer than 18 months to get to market. So that's part of it.
Gotcha. Here is Piton, guys. PTON this morning. They are slightly down 101, and I can see why this company did well. Obviously, we know why, because people are stuck at home and ordering this thing. Right now, they're taking a bit of a hit as the company reopens and gyms are starting to reopen. They might not have as much sales, right? So that could affect these guys. I want to see how Zoom, how Piton, all these companies that have done well during this time, how are they going to look, a month from now? It's going to be interesting. Right now, guys, Piton, again, they have an amazing daily here, just chopping around this 48. They had a nice run up, as you can see, all the way down from 17, getting to 48. That's a big move. So not sure if we're kind of giving some back here. What's the news on this? Norm, is anything happening, or it's just overall market movement here?
You hit the nail on the head. These companies that were benefiting from stay-at-home orders and quarantines and everything else, and had a big run-up because of it, are now getting hit as things reopen. So,
yep. So we'll definitely add this one on here, guys. Again, pre-market right now, it's not looking all that great. I'm hoping that it can get better. But out of all the ones that are gapping down, mRNA and Piton seem to have the best daily, and the ones that we know for a fact have traded very well while we looked at them in the past. So I think that covers our entire gapping down list. Let's go over to us gapping up, guys. And what we're going to do here, we're going to look at the top maybe 5 or so. And then we'll look at, and obviously I was going to say the next we'll look at the airlines and the cruise lines, which we've been watching very closely, but they're all up here. JetBlue 25%, NCLA 12%, CCL 12% almost, American Airlines, they're all in that double digit. And then above that, we have a few that we're just going to look into and see what's going on there. Let's start with MRNS this morning. They are, wow, nothing going on here, guys. Pretty choppy. I'm sorry, look at the wrong one. It's MRSN, excuse me. MRSN still looks horrible as well. So nothing going on there. You got 225,000 shares traded. A couple of block trades in here, but again, nothing great about what's happening here. So I'm going to go on to STNE today. This one also not looking good in the pre-market action. 281, but just look at this activity here. Again, I'm not seeing anything all that great right now. So the pop is nice, though. It is up 23%. The daily is a lot better than MRSN. You know what? We'll throw it on here. I like the percentage that this is up. I'm not sure if it's going to get any better, but let's take a look at it and see, come back to it, see what's going on there.
Just a note, I'm going to keep MRSN on my list. They had positive results, interim results from a phase 1 trial that they mentioned, I believe, on ovarian cancer, some sort of cancer. therapy, and then they also got an upgrade or two this morning. So it looks rather flat, but this could just be consolidation before a big
a
a
big
big
move.
run.
Yeah. No, yeah, with that type of catalyst, definitely worth watching, guys. So I'll add that one back on as well. We'll do some levels for that, because when you have that type of information, it can tend to be a sleeper and then take off at the open. All right, so let's look at some of the airlines, right? Let's start with Save, the first one up this morning. This one is up a nice 17% this morning. Obviously, they've been climbing back out of this nasty drop at $7. So again, at 14 right now. Pre-market action starting to get going, guys. We do have some volume, 1.6 million shares traded. Look at this one candle here with 367. I'm assuming that's at 8 o'clock. Yep. And that's probably some transactions being recorded with some trading. I'm not sure, but that's a lot of volume for that candle. I expect this one to be active. It is definitely not one of my favorite ones out of the airlines. I'm going to put it on here because they're the top one right now at 17, almost 17%. But these other ones trade a little bit better. CUK, we know, guys, this was the one that doesn't trade as well. We like to watch CCL, although today they're looking slightly better than usual. So I expect CCL to look even better, and it does. And look at the great volume here on CCL. 5 million shares traded on CCL right now. So very active, guys. As you can see, getting above the 16 area, hitting 19 for the pre-market high. And just a lot of activity on CCL this morning. Definitely on our list. Let's take a look at
Before you get into the next one, did
yeah.
you mention a block trade on something?
Yes, I think this was it STNE or it was one of these STNE or MRN. Which one was it? We did have a huge block trade here somewhere. Hold on a second. Which was CUK?
Yeah, so if you look for that. Somebody asked what a block trade was. We point it out every once in a while, but there's new people coming through all the time. So a block trade is a generally large transaction between two parties that are not openly traded on the market. So Bank A sells 1 million shares of whatever stock to Bank B at a set price, and so you'll get a large hit in this volume here. You can see it right there. If you, Carlos, can you circle that time in sales where you have 110,000 shares traded? And it's just it's being recorded there, but it really doesn't have an influence on anything that's going on. So we kind of ignore that. And if you look, they've only traded 113,000 shares all morning, and 110 was there. So therefore, the real volume is 3,000 shares, and we won't put it on the list because of low volume.
Yep. All right, thank you, guys. All right, so we left off over with Save, but let's do this before we get to CCL. I think we have it on here already. Let's finish with all the cruise lines first. I think we have CCL. Let's look at NCLH before we get into the airlines. This one, guys, also very active. Going to remove some levels on here. You can see 2.9 million shares right now. Right now, CCL has the best pre-market activity so far. Could be because of the volume, but NCLH is right behind there with some pretty good action as well. Again, they're up nicely, also 11.5. Now, the other cruise lines that probably should be very active today is RCL. If we look at RCL right now, again, they tend to be a little slower than the other two. The other two tend to get more volume and are a little bit more active. But don't get me wrong, this one has 677. Also, some really good volume and a really nice daily chart as well. So worth adding here, guys. I usually do not keep this one, but I know people like the higher price stock like this one sitting at 54 opposed to NCLH, where it's at a 17 and CCL right above at 18. This could be a good mover as well, on a day like today. Now, let's take a look at our airlines. We have JetBlue is leading the way here. They are up nicely at 12% this morning, 880,000 shares traded. Look at the pre-market actions looking pretty nice as well. So definitely worth watching today. JetBlue, and let's take a look at the next one will be American Airlines. They're at 2.8 million shares traded. Also very similar pre-market action, looking nice as well, up 11%. I'm just going to take a look at United and Delta next. United, again, very similar. I think all these guys are pretty much very similar on what they're doing right now. The way you can pick is by, based on what you have traded before in the past. You have traded very well. If you trade one better than the other, you could do it that way. Delta, United, and JetBlue, they all are really good. So I'm not going to put them on here because they're going to take up a lot of real estate. But I will remove JetBlue because JetBlue tends to be the lighter one when it comes to trading. And I'm going to keep, I'm torn between Delta and American Airlines and United. but I'm going to keep American Airlines and United for the American Airlines and Delta for the most part. But I'll keep a close eye on United because the American Airlines is a lower price stock. It's sitting at 12. I think United is a little bit higher, and I tend to like that one better. Now, Norm, on these airlines, is there anything specific to any individual company? I know United has some news a couple of days ago specific to them. Anything this morning?
Nothing fresh that I'm seeing, really.
Okay. All right, excellent. All right, guys. So that is what we're going to look at, and that for the most part is making a lot of our top list here on the stuff that's gapping up almost double digits. It's the airlines and the cruise lines, right? Besides for a couple, if you look at this airline, cruise line, airline, cruise line, airline, cruise line, airline, cruise line, airline, and then we have these two up here. So this is making the bulk. This sector right here is having a nice day today. They're really gapping up pretty nice. I'm going to take it over to the room, Norm, but before we do that, what do you like this morning that you have on your end?
Still going through, Carlos. I got to tell you, I'm a little bit distracted from everything I got going on here at the house right now, so I don't know if I'll trade today or not. If I see something really good, I might pick out one or two, but overall, I probably will stick. I already mentioned that MRSN. I'll keep an eye on, but I'll probably pick one or two of the airlines and cruises that we've already discussed.
Yep. Let's take a look at Tesla. What is Tesla doing on a day like today, by the way? Man, they are still winding down to a point here. They're not losing this level. They're holding it. Gapped up a little bit yesterday, gave it back. But again, right back to this area of great support and resistance that we have seen on Tesla. So we got to keep a close eye on it, man. Any minute now, this thing will definitely give us a good move here, one way or the other. All right, guys, let's take it over to the room. Let's start here with Edwin. Is giving us MGM this morning.
Their name, even though it's a different entity, I think Tesla owns 6% of SpaceX or something. They're going to be all over the news today with Elon Musk and everything else in the rocket launch this afternoon. So,
yeah, what is the SPCE doing today? They are up 5.6. Not the greatest pre-market action right now. Another block trade here, guys. As you can see, 148 is being dropped there.
I don't think anything. I don't see anything happening with space today, but Tesla will just get that notoriety. So, be interesting.
Yep, it sure will. Guys, here is a MGM. So Edwin is giving us this one this morning. They are up 8.5. A nice pop here. Again, very similar to this whole industry that involves traveling. If you open up travel and open up the country, these things are going to do very well. So right now they are up nicely, 8.4, 612. Worth watching, guys. We'll keep an eye on this one. Let's put that on there. Next, what do we have? We have a BA making a triangle. So Jared's giving us BA here. Let's take a look at what's happening there. So BA this morning. Now this one is again, this one has been great to trade, guys. Right now we're kind of stuck within this area of consolidation that we had in the past. We're actually slightly above it at 145. Here's it's kind of like the top of this consolidation we've been seeing over the last couple of days. Now their pre-market action is looking good, guys. Right now they're up 3.4, 504,000 shares traded. I do like BA along with the airlines doing well. I think BA could be tagging on to some of that as well. So definitely let's take a look at that. And what I like about BA too is how well, we mentioned this quite a bit, how well it has been trading over the last couple of days in the intraday and pre-market. If you go back and look at BA before all this happened, look at the difference in the sizes of the candles, right? If you go in here, the moves were not great. It was very difficult to trade. Obviously, it's interesting how the volume, look at how low the volume is before, and a lot of stocks are going to have this, just not BA, but now that I zoomed down, I'm showing you this. Look at how low the volume has been, just nothing going on. And then after, just the volatility and liquidity that the market has had, expecting some kind of a comeback, or with this drop, things are on sale. It's just amazing. This is almost 3 times the volume or more than you normally see. So that has been great for us day traders to catch some good opportunities there. All right, let's head down over to David from Connecticut, JP Morgan. This is one that he watches often. JP Morgan this morning, wow, they're doing very nice, up 4.7. Nice pre-market action of 556. I gotta say, out of all the banking stocks, JP Morgan is one that does trade fairly decent. Out of the BAs, and Citigroup, and all of that. I'm sorry, Bank of America. WFC right now also has a great pre-market activity. Between both of these, you can pick whichever one you'd like. I think JP Morgan will be the one for me today, man. So I'm going to put this one on here. JP Morgan is doing well. We'll watch that one. Twitter is on the list, gapping down. Did it come up here? I did not see it. Maybe it's above 2% now. Yeah, it's slightly is kind of touching that -2% right now, a little bit. So it should come up in our gappers list. So Twitter at the moment, the volume is not great for Twitter right now, though. When Twitter is in play, guys, we're seeing 700, 800,000 shares at this time. 323 is not bad. So I'm going to put it here as a possible. We'll come back to it. But we've seen what Twitter can do when it's really got something going on here. So slightly down.
They're all over the news this morning.
What's going on with them?
You're going to have. They decided to put warnings on President Trump's tweets.
Oh, I didn't hear about that. Warnings. That's interesting. Is that even right or legally or whatever? It doesn't make any sense.
Having worked in the media business for nearly 2 decades and knowing the scrutiny that comes from political advertising and all that, I think they're going to run afoul of some issues there. Just my personal opinion, but they definitely have the spotlight on them right now after doing that.
Yeah, so there's got to be a lot of rights issues going on with that, no matter who it is, whether it's a president or not. That's just, again, it's freedom of speech, right? So that doesn't seem right. We'll see what comes out of that. So I'll definitely keep an eye on this, guys. Let's see what comes out of that. You know, you mess with people's freedom of speech, no matter who it is, and you're gonna have an issue. So we'll see what happens there. All right, guys, let's go over to the top, see what we might have missed here. We have BA is good, guys. I see a lot of you guys mentioned that. AMD. And then we'll look at one that Andrew's in love with. Let's see what that ticker is up to. So here's AMD this morning. Oh, the AMD is actually very active today. What's going on? Any news breaking out? 411,000 right now. They are going red to green. They were up at least 2%, 2.5 looks like. And now they're going into red. So I like AMD today. Let's take a look at that. And you can see they're coming slightly below this previous day close, which has been an amazing area of support for these guys. Look at this here, right? So again, you did below it a few times, but you quickly came back above it, and you've been testing it 1, 2, 3, and then 4th time here. So let's see if that's going to hold. But definitely something going on here with AMD worth watching. Look at this drop here. All right, let's take a look.
Something's going on with this. Something's going on with the semis because Nvidia's getting hit.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but if somebody knows, if somebody's seen something in the last few minutes.
Yeah, and MU doesn't have much volume, but you can see we got this nice drop here as well that is coming at the same time.
SPY's getting hit right now too, so I don't know if some news has come across or what.
Yeah, something's brewing there. Let's find out what it is, hopefully. And the one that Andrew's watching is IWM, so he likes this one. Let's take a look at this. Is this the SPY, right? I think it is. It mirrors the SPY somewhat. IWM. So I know it is an ETF.
That's small caps. That's a Russell 2000.
Oh, okay. Yep. So this is an ETF, guys. Andrew has been trading this quite a bit in the room, and he didn't know about this. This is the great thing about a community, right? I didn't know about this ETFs about a year or two ago. I had no idea what ETFs were. I thought everything was just stocks. And you find these things that you can look at and trade, and unless you're part of a community or actually actively searching for this specific thing, you might not know about it. So it's great to be able to be part of a community and to learn. And I'm saying you have to join this community, guys, for those on YouTube or the ones that are here in the intro membership, but you have to be part of a community, no matter what you're doing. It's very, very important. All right, guys, let's go over to YouTube. What do we have? You guys like AMD? We have that one on there. I like AMD as well. We got some movements going on in the semiconductor area. The SPY is showing some of that as well. GE, guys, 2.5. GE is a tough stock to trade. On a day like today, they're up nicely 5.3 with some really good volume. 2.5 is actually decent. It's not a lot because if you look at GE's volume, this is a stock that trades 127 on a regular basis. So the volume is overall very high, but their pre-market is looking decent. So again, I'm not going to add it on here. This is definitely in play today, but it's one of the stocks that I find a little bit more difficult to trade. Let's look at RL this morning, then we'll look at MCD. RL today is this one is this pre-market activity. Ralph Lauren, unless there's probably some news coming out, that's probably why you're watching it. But overall, right now, for the open, I mean, this is not looking anything exciting that you want to have compared to the list of stuff that we're going through.
This morning.
Oh, they did? Okay, so I figured there's a reason why he was watching it. Yeah. So it could be a good one, maybe for his scanners or something. But right now, it's just the volume and everything seems pretty light. Good day yesterday, hitting this area of resistance. So the daily could be exciting. But right now, guys, it's got to get something going. MCD is probably another one as well that is probably got something else going on, but right now it's pretty dead for the most part. All right, Jacob is giving us PCCA. This is Papa John's as well, very light in the volume, and again, unless they have some news coming out, some earnings, not much happening right now. Another stock that trades very low volume, has a great daily though, I gotta say. It's beautiful daily here, but overall not one that's it looks not one that looks all that explosive this morning. All right, that is what we have, guys. I think we have a pretty decent list being led here by the cruise lines and airlines, obviously, with what's going on here. Let's take a quick look at the SPY. We'll go over to SPY continues to drop here. I think it's gonna it's affecting some of the semiconductors here. AMD still moving nicely here. We'll see what that does, and let's see what Nvidia is up to this morning. Nvidia, here we go. Yeah, the Nvidia is actually moving a lot better than AMD, so I might switch out AMD for Nvidia this morning. All right, guys, let's get over to announcements, and we'll come back and we'll fine tune this list and see what we're going to keep today.
All right, guys, success webinars. Tonight is Nada. She's a professor up in, I believe, British Columbia that Andrew is familiar with. She's going to be talking about practicing mindfulness and living in the moment. That'll be in the webinar room at 8 p.m. Eastern. And the next week, 6 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have Trader Mind Fitness with Mark Randall. He is a world-renowned performance coach, so he'll be discussing that. Next week, in our specific psychology webinars on Tuesday, Mike B will be talking about his Module 4, Mindfulness During Trade. It's just Mindful Month, I guess, Mindful May. We usually have Mindful Mondays. I guess we've transferred the whole thing, the entire month of May. And then June 2nd, how to cope with anxiety with our own in-house psychologist, Dr. Jonathan Katz. Speaking of Mike B, join him and Peter and possibly Brian as they do the simulcast over on YouTube of the room, 3:30 to 4:15 p.m. Eastern for the closing bell show. And if you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can use the promo code PREMARKET24 to get a discount off a 1-week trial. That's 7 calendar days, 5 trading days. That you can come in the room, and part of it too is you get to be part of the onboarding class that Carlos does every Monday night at 8 p.m. And then also, if you're looking to upgrade your membership or become a lifetime member, use the promo code podcast for 40% off the single payment option.
Thank you, Nora. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let's get to it, guys. Let's go through this list and see what do we have here. mRNA this morning is just looking good, guys. I like the fact that this is down today out of all the stocks that we have. So I want to keep this one for right now. We'll do some levels for it. I do like the area that we had here of support and prior resistance that we kind of lost yesterday. We kind of came to it right yesterday, then we kind of losing it now. So I like what's happening here. We do have shares for short, so let's keep an eye on that one. Piton as well is another one that not looking all that great, but I do like the fact that they're also losing this prior area of support as well over the last couple of days when we made this new pop and kind of had this consolidation area between 50 and 42 or so. So again, I want to see what happens here. I might not keep it if it doesn't get more active, but if the market doing what it's doing today, I want to see how a company like this one and Zoom is another one. Let's see what Zoom is up to. They are also down a little bit here, 2.4. So these two companies are going to be interesting to see as the market comes up, business starts reopening. Two companies I definitely want to keep an eye on, especially this one, Zoom here. I think they'll probably be a little more effective than Piton. So we'll keep Piton. We might move it down as possible. STNE this morning, guys, they're up huge, 22%, 340. Pre-market actions very active right now. I love the pop here, so we'll keep an eye on that one. MRNS, this one is going to be a good possible for me. I know Norm is going to be watching this one closely. They got some good positive news behind it, but I'm going to move this down as a possible if things get better, or since I know Norm is watching, if he calls something out, I'll have it ready to go. So we'll do our levels for it, but we'll keep it as a possible for now. Let's head down over to some of the airlines. So we have Save, we have American Airlines, and we have Delta. So I'm not going to keep all of these guys all in the same sector. They're all pretty much moving the same way. If you look at their daily, look at American Airlines, look at Delta. Again, they all got the same pop, getting above this area where we've been kind of struggling to get above. And American Airlines, same thing. And then Save is one also all in that area. So I'm going to remove Save. Gonna take this one out there, lower price stock. I really like trading Delta and United Airlines, really. So I'm gonna remove also American there, a little lower price. Delta's right at 27 number, and I think United is another one that we have been looking at that also trades pretty decent. So I'm gonna keep these two for now. I think they'll be a good to watch this morning. All right, let's head down over to where we left off. Now the cruise lines out of CCL and NCLH and RCL. I'm gonna remove RCL. I'm gonna keep I think CCL and NCLH are gonna be right there hand in hand. I'm gonna just keep CCL. It has been really good to us in the last couple of months, so I think this will be a good one to watch. Has slightly a little more volume, not that it makes a difference, a million or two there at this point. They're both above 4 million shares traded. Very active. Pre-market action on CCL looking very nice. Here's Delta, so we'll keep that one. MGM, I'm on the fence on MGM. We'll do levels, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. BA is also good. I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to keep JPM for our banking stock. And AMD, we'll watch closely for some action here, which was happening in the last couple of minutes. So, all right, let's go through these guys. I think we have a very decent list. mRNA this morning. So let's remove some of these levels. Let's do some fresh ones. The low of the pre-market right now sitting at 53.24. So we're gonna mark that down. A great area of some connection points here, as you can see on our daily. So that's good. We're bouncing right off of that. Towards the top, you got the previous day close, highs and lows from the last two trading days, creating some pretty good action here as far as levels. And then above the pre-market, the previous day close, you do have the pre-market high at 59.96. So I want to mark that down, have that on there. That also has been an area of some consolidation support over here between this line and this one here. So you want to have that on there. So in case we decide to come back up, do a red to green move, this is going to be a good area to see what can happen there. If we decide to take a dive here, guys, we do have a nasty daily here. Not all that great, but it's just consolidating, going sideways. I'm going to take the base of this consolidation where we have a lot of touch points over here at 47.14. If you draw a line right on there, guys, you can see how many times this has been tested and has bounced off of that. We did below it just a little bit, but basically holding this 47.14. And then if we were to lose that, the next clean one will be this 42.99. All right, next one is Piton here, guys. Again, not much going on at the moment. I do like the drop here that we have at 2%. Low of the pre-market sitting at 40.10, and below that we do have the top of this gap that we had here a couple of days ago at 39.36. If we were to lose that, then the next area I see here is 36.34. Could be a great area in here if we decide to take a dive. But overall, just kind of holding here, trying to get back to that previous day close for the most part right now. STNE, so at the moment their pre-market low sitting at 32.54, so we'll mark that down. They're high all the way up at 34. Again, this stock is up nicely today, guys. 22%, excuse me. So towards the bottom, we do have this area here where we tested several times here, and here. Support and resistance at 29. Above that, above the pre-market action now, you do have a level here of the daily at 35.50, and then all the way up here you have one at 38.73. Again, that's a stretch. They are very extended right now on their daily. They're up nicely. Below the 29 level is where they came from right now here, consolidating. So you got the highs and lows right in here. Pretty much got you covered. So let's see if we can hold. What I like about this one, it's up quite a bit. Let's see if we can hold this 32.52. Are we going to come back down and start closing this gap a little bit, or are we going to hold this and head back to that pre-market high? So I think we got some good action coming out of STNE this morning, possibly. CCL, again, just explosive right now, guys. This stock is up 11%, so this is pretty good at the moment. Pre-market high at 1706 is the low of the pre-market. Then towards the bottom, you don't have to add anything, because your highs and lows got you covered. Pre-market, previous day close are just all in here between 14 and all the way up to 17, where your pre-market low is. You got all these levels on there. Now within, this is a big gap, right? It's a $2 gap, 19 to 17 between the range between your high and your low. So what I'm gonna do is, in here we do have several big candles, white body candles in here. I'm gonna pick a level in between here that makes the most sense, and it's gonna be this 1782. And the reason I like this one, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit so you can see, is that we have several days opening and closing around that area. So you got it here, here, and here. So again, we don't have the best daily level as far as this, right? We change in direction when it comes down and goes back up. That's an amazing level here. This is another one here as well, right? So two amazing levels, clear change in direction. But in here, you do have some days that are opening and closing here, and you do need something between 19 and 17. That's a big range. So we'll see how that reacts. And here in the pre-market now, look at how you're getting some bounces around this area too. So I guess we're not the only ones watching this, guys, right? That's 1782, right? So we'll see what that does. Here is Delta, guys, one of the airlines that I like this morning alongside United. They are very active, as all of them are. Again, I think you cannot go wrong with either one of the 4 or 5 major airlines that are moving right now, but you just can't watch all of them. You want to give yourself some opportunities to watch other sectors that might also give you some movement. These are, for the most part, probably all going to move the same. As Norm mentioned earlier, there's not a independent catalyst for any of these stocks right now at the moment that we are aware of. So 27.96 high of the pre-market. Above that, we do have a great level here at 30, and then another one here all the way at 35. I don't think we'll get there. That's a stretch, but this is the type of action we had when we first had this initial drop. I mean, just look at the days on here, the daily candles, then a huge pop up, huge bounce, and then right back down. I mean, this is a range from $10-15, right? So it's just incredible in a matter of like 4 or 5 days, right? Remember, we thought this was going to be the bounce back up, and we're recovering V, and it kind of came back down here, consolidated. So just incredible movement. You're going to see this in a lot of stocks. So this one here, we got some good levels towards the bottom as well, guys. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you covered. We got some moving averages coming in here as well on Delta towards the bottom. So again, a lot of great support. Hopefully this thing can trade nice for us today. Here's MGM. I'm keeping this one just in case. We got great volume right now. Another block trade here of 177. But I don't know, something about it when you start looking at Delta, CCL, and these other ones that are up huge and got a good pre-market activity. MGM is still not looking as interesting, but let's do some levels for it. We'll put it down as a good possible this morning. 1923 high of the pre-market towards the bottom. Even the pre-market low is marked by yesterday's high, and you have plenty of levels down here, so you pretty much cover for the most part. Towards the top, guys, we do have a great area right on here, 2142, so we'll mark that down, and then right in between here also 2017 could be a good one also. All right, so that's what we have for MGM. I'm gonna put it next to MRSN. I think this could be a good one for later on to keep an eye on as well. Let's take a look at BA. BA is good too, guys. I like the daily. Again, it's been trading very well. BA's pre-market high right now sitting at 149.75. Above this, you do have 154.55. And then up here you have this area all the way up here. Again, that's a stretch today, 164, but we see we can get out of that. Again, as many other stocks have, an amazing support here. Highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. Obviously, the market is up and everything is moving nicely. MRSN is up 41%. Wow. Okay. Definitely active this morning. Let's take a look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan right now continues to rip higher, guys. This thing is very active. High of the pre-market 101, 101.20 there, and then above that you do have this beautiful pop over here at 104. Below the pre-market high right now, you do have this area we have some change in direction as well from here, heading right back down this 99. Then towards the bottom, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days. We do have some levels in here we have from before. I don't think they're all that relevant now. I'm going to delete them because you got the highs and lows kind of covering you for a bit here, and also the previous day close. So let's see. The pre-market high is being ripped through here, so we'll come back and see what the next level is going to be on the pre-market high. But I am going to mark down this 101.95 and this one all the way up here, 104.34. All right, so that is what we have in JP Morgan, guys. Very active this morning. Definitely one that it's in play today. Here's AMD. AMD's coming back up, so sitting right at that previous day close line. I'm not going to watch it for the most part right now. I would have kept it here if it would have kept coming down. It would have been more exciting. But now we're just getting into this congested area. We might just chop around unless there's some specific news that comes out of this. So I'm going to just remove it for now. Let's look at United, another airline that I like as well. This morning, very active as they all are today. 32.82 is the high of our pre-market, so we'll mark that. Oops, a little lower. There we go. Above that, we do have 34.07, and then all the way up here, we're getting into this 39.95, which is the clean area. Again, another stock we have to drop. A couple of days, huge bounce, and then another drop again here. Towards the bottom, as many stocks do, highs and lows from the last 2 trading days got you pretty much covered from 24 to 30. Plenty of levels within this area here. All All right, guys, that is what we have. Let's take a look at some possibles. NGM is good this morning. MRSN is probably the top possible today. Let's do some levels for this one. High of our pre-market sitting at 15.57. Towards the bottom, your low of your pre-market is all the way down at 11 bucks. Are we at all-time high on this? We might be. Let's see. Just want to go back here and check. Oh, no, we are not. No, there's some stuff happening up here. So let's zoom in here, going back to 2018. We do have some levels over here in our daily. Now I'm just gonna look at the weekly. Might make it easier for us to spot something. Here we go. So looking at our weekly, guys, clearly this pre-market high right now, you can tell how much support you have on here now, acting as resistance in this area around 16 or so. Above this, the weekly doesn't give us anything all that great as far as levels. So again, I think we just got to be careful. I think actually no, take that back. Right here, 1679. You got several days on the weeks there bouncing off of that day. So 1679 could be the next area where you have some change in direction. But for the most part, guys, very active. We're gonna keep this one here in our possible. They got some good catalysts behind it, and already a beautiful pop. They're up 41%. RCUS, I'm gonna remove. I don't like what's pretty much happening here. Doesn't look all that great, so I'm gonna take this one out for now. LJPC, I'm on the fence, but you know what, this type of stock, we talked about it earlier, with a lower price, don't get that much volume, or it's just not great for me personally to trade. So I'm gonna skip on that one. And then Twitter, let's see how Twitter is gonna play out today. As far as levels, we got the highs and lows all in the price action right now, so you pretty much cover as far as that. Maybe you add the low of the pre-market to have it on there, 3301. But for the most part, I think you're pretty much covered on Twitter. But I'm going to keep a close eye on it based on what Norm was telling us. You know, that type of stuff could have some kind of reaction in the trading today for Twitter. All right, guys, what do you guys like this morning? Norm, anything else that you like today?
No, I'm still going through my list. Nothing that you haven't already mentioned.
Okay, excellent. All right, guys, let's see what the moderators are looking at this morning. Let's start up here with Thor. So Thor, he's watching his good buddy CCL, NCLH, and the airline he likes United this morning. And then space around lunchtime, maybe something gets going there, SPCE. All right, Eamon has JP Morgan, MGM, American Airlines, and WFC, West Fargo. Let's see what they're up to. Yeah, WFC is also good. Again, both of these, WFC and JP Morgan, are both looking pretty nice. All right, let's Peter will make some changes last minute, but for right now, he only has a secondary list he's watching. CCL, Save, MGM, JP Morgan, Tesla, AMD, TLRY. Let's look at TLRY. Have a couple of green days here in a row here, so it kind of starting to get going a bit. He likes BA and NRSN. I don't think we looked at NRSN today. Let's see what's going on there. NRSN. I'm not. Is that going to be a new IPO? I'm not getting any information on that. Symbol not found. All right. Maybe it's written in error. All right, guys. So that is what our moderators are watching. Brian will be posting his shortly. Andrew as well. I will do the same, and Norm and I will fine tune this list. But right now, just to recap, we have mRNA in here. This is looking very active, guys. Continues to drop the low of the pre-market. So I like the way this is moving right now. Some pretty good volume. Piton is bouncing back. It's not all that exciting actually at the moment. I'm gonna move it down to a possible for now. I think that, and again, the volume's still very light. We're getting into 9:15 Eastern time, 15 minutes to the open, and we're still not seeing anything great. Not saying that this is not going to take off and do something exciting, but for right now, just to keep this list a little fine-tuned, it could sit in the bottom for a bit. All right, let's see what Andrew's watching. He likes CCL this morning, American Airlines, AAL, United Airlines, and the coronavirus stuff. He's watching mRNA, and then financial, he's watching C. Let's look at Citigroup today. C is also active, actually. C looks better than what it normally does. This stock usually doesn't trade very well, but on a day like today, they got some really good volume. What is Bank of America doing? BAC. Yeah, all of the banking stocks are trading very well, guys. So pick the one that you like trading. JP Morgan's a little bit higher price. West Fargo is so-so. Just pick the one that they have traded in the past, and you can trade well. They're all looking very good right now. Similar to the airlines and cruise lines. All right, guys, that is what we have. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. And today is Wednesday. Right.
Wednesday.
So
you'll get it right if you get through 7 of them.
Yeah, let me just say all the days and I'll hit one for sure. But yeah, it's a short week, 4-day trading week, obviously with the holiday. So today is Wednesday. Have a great day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. And also we will see you tonight and this afternoon. We have 3:30. We have Mike Peter and Brian, and then we have our workshop Wednesday this evening at 8. So do not miss that for sure. Take care, guys. Trade safe. We'll see you next time.
Take care, guys. Trade safe.